UFC Fight Night, Mexico City, Mexico, just took place. Steve Erceg versus Brendan Moreno just transpired mere hours ago where I am right now. And, it was a pretty good event. Pretty good cards. I feel like if Joe Pyfer didn't pull out and then we got the Joe Pyfer Kelvin Gastelum, this would have been a really good card.
That I think I'm the healthiest I've been since I've been fighting.
But yeah, that fight pulling out did make it a little bit lackluster, like the co-main being, Torres Dober. Like, it was a really good fight and all, but that, and then if you got Joe Pyfer and Kelvin Gastelum as well, it really would have pushed it to the next level. Just some event memes for the start. I thought it was really funny. When Moreno walked into the arena, you know how they show the two fighters. Moreno walked in, he had a really nice suit. He had his baddie Latino wife. She was all dressed up and shit. And then Urso walked in in generic Venom gym clothes with a backpack. It was actually funny. It was it just showed the two different mentalities. Urseg's not trying to be a star. I'm very disappointed in his performance, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I always kind of thought that was kind of if I was a fighter, I would not spend hours getting dressed up just to get change into my fight kits for a 10-second clip to be played. I don't know. It doesn't really seem worth. And there was a Chi Wee Wee's Raul Rosas Jr. infomercial music video. I didn't actually hear that much about it, but I thought it was insanely cringe. No one's really shitting on it that I've seen, but I could not believe how cringe it was. Okay, moving down to the first fight of the night, it was Mederos versus Hubbard. I actually thought that Hubbard won this shit, not gonna lie. I thought that Hubbard won round one. Round two was definitely Hubbard, and round three was pretty confidently Mederos. But I thought Hubbard won round one just because they weren't really, both fighters did not get into a flow at all that round. They were both barely hitting each other. They were just kind of getting one strike off, and they would just keep moving around. They couldn't really get any combinations going. But yeah, Hubbard had Mederos on the back foot, and he got a little bit of control time at the end that I thought really gave that round to him. I don't see how Mederos won that first round. I even thought Hubbard might have won the third round, to be honest, because Hubbard got a takedown, controlled him for a few minutes, but he didn't really get any damage off. And then Mederos got up and he was he landed some elbows on his way up after reversing. So yeah, he did damage, and Hubbard didn't really do any damage. So I gave that one to Mederos. But honestly, if you were a control guy, then Hubbard could have won that one. So yeah, but round one was very close. It wasn't an insane robbery, but yeah, I thought Hubbard won round one. But it ended up being Mederos' unanimous decision as well, which I'm surprised, I don't know. Okay, moving to the second fight of the night, Emmers versus Miranda. Jamall Emmers, Gabriel Miranda. So Miranda shot in early, got a takedown on Emmers, but Emmers got up pretty quick after, and from that on, it was just Emmers could just hit Miranda at will. Miranda had absolutely no defense. His hands were nowhere near his chin, and he had no movement at all. Miranda could legit just right straight him or right hook him all he wanted, and Miranda had absolutely no defense. The only reason Emmers didn't instantly knock him out is I think he was a bit worried about Emmers shooting on him again, so he didn't want to get any combinations going. But yeah, he dropped him. Miranda got back up, and then he dropped him again, and it just looked like Miranda had absolutely no hope on the feet, just completely outclassed. And yeah, I don't know, Miranda needs to work on his defense, bro. That was actually crazy. Yeah, I don't know why I picked Miranda. I picked Miranda, and I don't know how I didn't remember that Jamall Emmers is the guy that pretty much the exact same way he knocked out Miranda, he knocked out Daniel Bazooka. I completely forgot about that. Otherwise, I would have picked Emmers. I thought, I don't know, and that was recently as well. That's Emmers after he came out from a break. Now he's actually KOing people. Before, he barely got any KOs. But yeah, if I had remembered that he was the guy that did that Bazooka, I definitely would have picked him. And I just don't remember Miranda being that useless on the feet. It was a really bad pick for me, not gonna lie. Okay, moving down to Rafa Garcia versus Vinc Pichel. That's a pretty close fight. Honestly, Garcia did not look that much faster than Pichel, even though he's 12 years younger. Yeah, I think I gave rounds 1 and 3 to Garcia, but rounds 2 was actually really impressive from Pichel. It did kind of look like Garcia, I don't know what, I think Garcia's game plan was to shoot and get him down, and he wasn't really adjusting to not being able to do so. But yeah, it just kind of looked like in the second round, Garcia was just waiting for counter shots or waiting to shoot. He just really looked not active at all, whereas Pichel was very active with teeps and leg kicks and jabs. Yeah, but then I think the difference was it was even at that point, because round 1 was definitely Garcia's. At the start, he was just to get landing the better shots. Pichel came back in round 2 and was just doing more, even though you could kind of tell Garcia could do more, but he was like something was stopping him. And then round 3 it was very close, but then the final minute Garcia actually picked Pichel up and slammed him, like full on picked him up like fucking Marab Cejudo. Slammed him. And that's the kind of takedown where the commentary team said this, but that's the kind of takedown where it actually gives you points. Like if you just leg trip someone and lie on top of them for a minute, it doesn't really do much. But if you legit pick them up and slam them, then that's like actually like an offensive takedown, I guess, that does damage in itself. He slammed him and got like a little bit of control time, and like he had like a really good position to like get some ground strikes off, but it didn't end up happening. And Pichel got up, and then they kind of like got against the fence, and that was definitely Garcia's round. But it wasn't really that impressive a performance for Garcia. I feel like they kind of set Garcia up here to be like the Mexican guy and give him an opportunity for a really good performance, but he didn't really lay up to it. And also, Vinc Pichel does look good for his age. Like, he's still pretty decent. It was a pretty good fight. I just feel like Garcia, something was holding Garcia back. Maybe he wasn't used to the elevation in Mexico or some shit. I don't know. Okay, moving down to Loopy Godinez versus Julia Polastri. I don't know. WMMA lately has actually been really good. This is a really good fight, actually, especially round 3. Round 1 and 2, it was kind of the case of Loopy Godinez just was the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. She could just put it wherever she wanted. She could keep it on the feet if she wanted. She could take it down if she wanted. Round 1, she took her down, controlled her most of the round. Didn't really do any damage. But then I think at the end of round 1, Polastri actually landed an elbow, and then Loopy Godinez just let her up. And then at the start of round 2, she was like, I don't really want to keep her on the ground because her elbows are dangerous. So they were keeping her on the feet. But then she was like, Polastri was better than on the feet. So then she just took her down again. She won round 1 and 2 just being able to control Polastri wherever she wanted. And then I think round 3, apparently on the stool she said like she needs to take a shit or something. And then round 3 she looked a bit like Loopy Godinez needed to take a shit. And then round 3 she looked a bit more gassed than Polastri. Couldn't really take it down, couldn't control it. And it was actually a really fucking cool round. Like, Godinez was like hitting her with like right hooks and right straights and like power shots. But then Polastri would she'd have her hands up and then she would get hit and drop them. Like, she responded to getting hit by dropping her hands and going forward. She's actually like a really, she is kind of a psycho, bro. Like actually entertaining, going forward. I gave round 3 to Polastri just because she was just walking forward. She was getting hit. She probably got a little bit more significant strikes off, but she got hit. So going by damage, it was probably Godinez, but I think Polastri just got that with forward pressure and, just gritting it out. Oh yeah, in round 1 there was a really cool power bomb by Polastri, like a fucking it was like a single leg power bomb, not like it wasn't like a German suplex power bomb. It was like a really weird, like she had like this single leg and then she picked up the other leg and power bombed her. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it was a good fight. Okay, moving down to Christian Rodriguez versus Melquizael Costa. This is not that good of a fight. It was alright. I think I scored this for Costa. I gave Costa round 1 and 2. What kept happening was Melquizael Costa was kind of piecing him up on the feet, and then Rodriguez would push him back and try and get a takedown, but they'd be stuck in clinch, especially in round 1. This happened a lot. They were stuck in a clinch against the fence, and they just kept reversing who was pushing the other one back, but then I gave that to Costa just because at the start of the fight, at the start of the round, Costa was piecing him up. And also, it did get down to the ground, and Melky got him in like an anaconda-looking thing, so it was like a submission threat, so that's definitely Costa. And then, it was a similar thing in round 2, where I feel like Rodriguez is the type of guy where he has a game plan, and he does not adjust if it's not working at all. Like, I think his game plan was to push Costa up against the fence, take him down and control him. He tried that for round 1 and 2, and it was not working, but he just kept trying it. Like, he refused to strike. He only, pressured him to get him against the fence and try and take him down. He was just getting pieced up and refusing to, counter hit back. So, and then in round 3, he foot-swept Rodriguez, I think he's foot-swept Rodriguez, 6 times in total this fight. But then, Rodriguez foot-swept Costa, 6 times, but then Costa would just get back up instantly. But then, in the third round, he foot-swept him twice. I think he swept him 4 times in the round, but twice, and he got a little bit of control time. And he also got some shots off while pushing him back. Like, in this round, he was doing what he should have done in round 1 and 2, where when he's pushing him back, he's also striking, not just pushing him back. So, I feel like Rodriguez could have won this, but he just stuck to the game plan that wasn't working for the first 2 rounds and kind of cucked himself. But, it was a alright fight. It is weird how Rodriguez beats Boshi and Raul Rosas Jr., and then he loses to this guy, which is not on the near level of hype. But again, Melquizael Costa is good, and I feel like he would maybe beat... it's a different division, but I feel like he might beat Rosas, and I feel like Boshi would fuck him up, but Yeah, it is weird how this guy, Rodriguez, beats like hype trains and then loses to like mid-competition. Okay, moving down to Gautier versus Medina. Jose Daniel Medina versus Atera Gautier. This actually got performance of the night on Gautier's behalf. Deserved. It was a mauling. Gautier completely fucking mauled Medina. I'm not even sure Medina hit him once. Maybe got like a leg kick. I literally would not be surprised if he don't hit him once. Well, it says it here. 17 what? That's some fake news shit right there. No way. Anyway, I guess he did hit him. But yeah, like I would not be surprised if he didn't, because he got completely fucking mauled. Yeah, Gautier is like a Francis Ngannou at welterweight, but he's actually patient. Like he doesn't just run at you, guy. Like he actually is a technical, like he could counter strike. Like he's actually like a technical striker. Yeah, he hit Medina with some shots that would have like knocked people out, and he was hitting him with insane shots for like 3 minutes straight. And then yeah, it ended up like he hit him with a right hook, kind of rocked him, and then Medina. He has a really good poker face, and then like he like went back against the fence, hit him with a nasty combo, like jab left, right, and then like a knee up the middle, dropped him, and then yeah, just nasty fucking stoppage. And then Medina even like contested the stoppage, like nah, it was good, but yeah, it looked like he was on the ground, he stood back up, it's like what the fuck, and then he looked like if he took a step, he would just collapse and like die. So yeah, I think it was a good stoppage. It definitely was not a late stoppage. I don't think anyone is saying it's a late. It was like an early stoppage, but yeah. Impressive from Gautier. I am interested to see this guy versus someone with a three-dimensional game or someone that's... I don't see any striker giving him problem. Okay, moving down to Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. I actually thought this was quite close. A lot of people were like, hype train derailed, which yeah, I guess, because I think this is Borjas' first win in the UFC. So it is a little bit of a hype train derail. But yeah, I did score it for Borjas, but I thought round 3 was pretty close. Like round 1 was definitely Borjas. I gave round 2 to Rodriguez, and then round 3 was extremely close, but I gave it to Borjas. Yeah, I think this was kind of the case of Rodriguez really wanted a flashy KO in Mexico. Like I think the first thing he threw was like a fucking double kick, like like a kind of like a flying knee, but a kick. And then he was just doing like spinning shit with absolutely no setup at like max range. Like no way it's gonna hit. He's just like throwing Hail Marys out, dropping his stamina just because he wants like a flashy KO in Mexico. Yeah, but fucking Rodriguez has insane Wolverine level recovery, bro. He gets like dropped with a nasty little thing's gonna knock him out. Like gets chinned with like a right hook, and then he just like roly polies back up instantly. He got dropped, I think, like at least 3 times with like crazy looking shit. And he just gets back up instantly. Like actual Wolverine, like brickhead, like Deadpool Wolverine level recovery, like Jared Cannonier brickhead SpongeBob ass recovery. So yeah, I did give it to Borjas. It was a really cool fight. Borjas was just too long and rangy for Rodriguez. He couldn't really deal with it. I thought Rodriguez would kind of walk him down and find shots, but he got in close, but he could just never really find shots, and Borjas could just circle out. I didn't see that. I didn't see Borjas being able to circle out as easily. And yeah, it was just too rangy for Rodriguez to deal with. I feel like his arms were like too long. He could just like sprawl or just like get underhooks and shit, so Rodriguez couldn't... I don't think Rodriguez even tried to take him down, but I doubt he could. Yeah. I think he definitely lost, but I think it was kind of close-ish. I don't think it was like an embarrassing performance from Rodriguez, but yeah, it's alright. Okay, moving down to David Martinez versus Saimon Oliveira. Round 1 KO from Martinez. He got a performance of the night as well. It's weird, this card, they gave 4 performance of the night awards and no fight of the night. That actually, I don't really like that actually. I prefer to have 2 performances in 1 fight of the night. I don't know. I feel like a fight of the night. You need a fight of the night, bro. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, when this guy was walking out, apparently he's like a... I don't know if he's a full-time, but apparently he's like a doctor or a pediatrician or something. I was like, oh, he's not a full-time fighter? I was like, damn. That's kind of a bad sign. But yeah, he fucked this Oliveira guy up. Oliveira had nothing, bro. It was like, Martinez was keeping it at range at the start. Leg kicks, like high and low kicks. Jabs. And then he got Oliveira with like a pretty mean, like... pull counter, knocked him down, and like a TKO ground and pound. He mauled this cunt. Like there was like barely any comeback. There was barely anything back from Oliveira. Yeah, it was a really cool knockout, really cool fight. Yeah, not much to say. It ended in round 1. Also, this whole time, I thought this was Tracy Cortez's brother, and they had like a different last name. But no, he's the brother of some I know who she is, but she's just like not even like a well-known WMA fighter in the UFC. I thought this was Tracy Cortez's brother. I don't know where I got that, but okay. Moving down to Raul Rosas Jr. versus Vince Morales. This was a pretty smudge-heavy performance by Rosas Jr. It was pretty entertaining. In round 1, he actually came out and he was kind of outstriking Morales. He was like, I think he's pretty good at switching stances. He has like a very even stand-up game where like he's like good from both stances. And he can switch stances and just like, do that shit. But then he was doing that, pushed him back, took him down, just controlled him round 1 pretty much the whole time. He did have position for sub-attempts, but he didn't really go for sub-attempts. And then round 2, Morales actually started off the round. He was kind of piecing Rosas Jr. up a little bit, but then Rosas Jr. took him down, controlled him for like 3/4 of the round. Didn't really do any damage. He doesn't get any ground and pound off, and he doesn't go for any submissions. That's the thing I don't really like about Rosas Jr. He's very smudge heavy. He's never really looking for a finish lately. Like when he was versing like NPCs, he was getting finishes early, but now I feel like he doesn't really go for them. He's like, his ground game's not really aggressive enough for my liking. Like, I'm not a stand and bang only MF. Like, I like UFC. I don't like boxing. I like the ground game, but Rosas Jr. lately is not going for finishes at all. And then, yeah, round 3, Morales got taken down. I think he reversed and he got in like a necktie from the bottom. It was actually like really close, and Rosas was in it for probably like maybe a minute. It wasn't like a minute of getting strangled. It was like a minute of like he would have it in for about 10 seconds, then Rosas would get a little bit of pressure off, and then he would get it back in, and he probably was actually getting choked for like maybe half the time he was in it. He was in it for about a minute, so let's say he was getting choked for 30 seconds, catching breath in between, and then he reversed it, smudged him again, and then right at the end he got the exact same submission again. But it was only like 10 seconds left on the clock. It did look way deeper. I feel like if he had more time, he might have been able to finish it this time. But yeah, it was just too little, too late. I gave the 3rd round to Morales just because of the sub attempts. And yeah, but Rosas got round 1 and 2 just from smudging, bro. Like, honestly, I don't know. I feel like he needs to just go for some finishes. Although maybe he knew, I feel like if he did go for finishes though, he would have gassed himself off and probably would have lost in round 3. So I do kind of get why he didn't, but for entertainment value, I feel like he needs to get a bit more aggressive. Okay, moving down to Edgar Chairez versus CJ Vergara. Edgar Chairez got a performance of the night bonus for this performance tonight. Yeah, it was a pretty sick finish. It looked like kind of even-ish on the feet. Vergara was getting some leg kicks off. It looked even for about 20 fucking seconds, and then Chairez just started mogging him, bro. He got him with like a pretty nasty left hook, kind of rocked him. I think he actually dropped him, and then Vergara got back up, and then he kind of counter hooked him with like a combination, dropped him, and then followed him down, got a rear naked choke, and finished it. It was a bit weird. After he stubbed him in round 1, he was like, he had his back, and then he let go, and then Vergara like turns around and hugs him while he's like in between his legs. I don't know, a little bit zesty, but respect it. They just fought, I guess. That was it. Pretty good fight. Good finish. Chairez is very emotional on the mic after. That would be crazy to win in your hometown like that in round 1 submission. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it was a good fight. Moving down. Drew the Dream Dober, man. The dream might be over, bro, honestly. Yeah. Manuel Torres versus Drew Dober. Fuck, bro. This is nasty to watch. I feel like Manuel Torres just had too much range for Dober. Like, Dober's not really a leg kicker, really. I mean, I guess he does a little bit, like, I don't know. He was kind of going for body punches. I think he got a few body punches off. But yeah, it was like really early. I think Manuel Torres was kind of setting him up. And he kind of like left hooked him, dropped him. Drew Dober was grabbing onto his leg, going for a single tie, I guess. He was kind of like in the begging man's position. And then 15 hammer fist right to the side of his head. Yeah, I feel like the ref should have stopped that after the 11th hammer fist to the side of the head with no contention. But it was a bit of an awkward position. Like, it kind of looked like he was trying to go for a single leg but he was just like not. He had his leg, but he was like never like lifting up. I guess he was too like knocked out to do so. But yeah, I feel like Dober might be getting a little bit too slow to like see these shots coming at this point. Maybe, I don't know. Because, like, Dober looked absolutely helpless out there for the second time in a row. He got absolutely mugged by Jordan Silva and now Manuel Torres. I think Drew Dober has to get the Jim Miller treatment and start fighting absolute generic spawn-in fighters if he wants to. And then, yeah, just give him the Jim Miller treatment at this point. I feel like Dober's done fighting prospects and stuff. He's, I don't know. Bro can't do it anymore. Okay, moving down to the main event. Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. Oh, my God. This is actually such a frustrating watch, bro. I did score it for Moreno, but honestly, you could almost give this to Erceg. I had round 3 for Erceg. I think he could have won round 2, he could have run round 4, and he could have run round 5, but I gave those all to Moreno. But it was extremely close rounds. Like, you could, if you were like Sal D'Amato, score that for Erceg, hypothetically. But yeah, I did give it 4-1 Moreno. Bro, I feel like it was so, like, Erceg's so close every time, but I feel like he's always had this problem. He had the same thing in Pantoja, where he's super close, but he just can't pull the trigger to, like, edge the rounds towards him. Like, Moreno is better at making it look like he won the round. Like, fucking Erceg finds these, like, he's avoiding all these strikes, and he's, like, at range, and he's, like, standing there after. He, like, where's the counter strike, bro? Or sit down on some fucking punches. Like, do something, bro. You're obviously losing. Like, do something to win. Moreno's game is anyone else? I feel like Moreno's game is extremely fucking predictable. He just throws overhands. He probably threw about 50 fucking overhands, and I think he missed about 40 of them. Steve Erceg always got out of the way, but he'd never counter strikes. And then in the 5th round, it was actually taking the piss. He did the same jab, leg kick, heavy leg kick, like all the way in leg kick, like putting all of his weight into it. He did that about 4 times in that round. And like, how do you not count? I don't understand how Erceg did not get these counters, bro. And Moreno was kind of pissing me off this fight. He kept like, kind of like BMing like Erceg, like giving him attitude and stuff. And then on the stool, he's like, "Oh, this guy's waiting." Like, he's not waiting, bro. You're just slinging overhands, just like being a retard. Like, honestly, the overhand game is kind of OP because you can miss it, but then you're technically still pushing the guy back. And then some judge could not even see that it fully missed because Erceg was just getting out of the road. Ah, oh, so annoying, bro. I feel like Erceg could have won this so easily if he just took advantage of the counters. Like, his head movement and footwork is so fucking good, but he just doesn't capitalize off the stuff that he avoids, and like, he doesn't sit down on his punches enough to like edge the round towards him. Ah, it was very frustrating. I would say good performance from Moreno, but I honestly don't think it was a good performance from Moreno. I feel like Erceg could have beat him. He just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that he was given. I don't know. Am I just salty because I'm Australian? I just feel like that wasn't that good of a performance from Moreno. And I was hoping he was going to get robbed, but he just didn't. I feel like Erceg was hitting with some good teep kicks. Like, his jabs were connecting. It's so weird. Like, how much value do you give overhands that he misses 90% of the time? Like, I scored it for him when I was watching it as well, just because it looks like he's winning. But is he really? I kind of feel like Erceg should have won that. This is almost similar to Pantoja, you know. Maybe Erceg's just doomed to narrowly lose every single fight. Yeah, I did see a tweet, I think it was from like MMA Guru, saying he's kind of like the Corey Sandhagen of flyweight, and I do kind of agree, where he's super technical, like he looks so flashy, he looks like he's winning, he looks like so good, but he just doesn't sit down on shots enough, and he doesn't do damage, and he doesn't like score points to win the round. Like, if you're not going to finish someone, if you're not going to sit down on your shots, you need to like have more output so you can score points. Like, you need to do something to win these fucking fights, please. Yeah, whatever. Because it's kind of pointless. Now Moreno wins. He doesn't move anywhere because I don't think they're going to book him versus Pantoja. Well, they might, because apparently they're doing No Chain September in Guatemala or some shit. So maybe they will, because that's like a Mexican and Moreno's Mexican. So maybe he will get another shot. Maybe this did do something. But if that wasn't happening, this would actually do nothing. And then he should have just let Erceg win, is what I'm saying, pretty much. Okay, guys. That's all from me. I'll give this card a 7.8 out of 10. Since it's not a pay-per-view, it gets an automatic 1 point up. I just made up this system. I'm actually gonna create a scoring system for cards and start using it from now on. But yeah, 7.8 out of 10. Thanks for watching.